Hello, I'm Martin Mercer.
And I'm James Mastriani.
You've never heard of us.
We're two Brits who grew up in North London and have had varying success in the film and television industry.
In our ever-advancing age, we find ourselves on
the wrong side of Hollywood.
In our series of podcasts, we'll share our experiences of what it's like being a British bloke living and working,
or not,
in the biz.
We'll discuss everything from fish and chips to things that wind us up.
So stay with us. It's all uphill from here.
This podcast may contain strong language. If you're of a sensitive nature or easily offended, we invite you to, as they say in Blighty, jog on.
We interrupt this broadcast.
Hello, James.
Hello, mate.
Hey, mate.
What do I owe the pleasure of your interrupting my time away from you?
I know you were relaxing in the land of freedom, and I thought I'd reach across the Atlantic and pluck you to safety aboard the SS Britannia. I just thought I'd check in, seeing how you're doing, kind of lift you up from where you belong.
Well, you know, while you're away and Moni is spending some time with her sister up in Portland, I have been going through a whole bunch of photographs that I brought back from England many years ago after my mum passed away.
Yeah.
The awesome thing is I found all these other pictures that I'm going through, and it's just really, really cool. And I'm just scanning them because I need to take them back to my aunt and have her identify who everybody is. So that's been my project. But I wanted to tell you something.
Oh, well, can I just interrupt there?
Of course you can.
Even from 5,500 fucking miles away, I'm going to cut you off.
Fuck.
He said, laughing at his own joke. And that is, it's interesting you're doing the nostalgia thing there, because I think we're really in a time of nostalgia now, especially with what's been going on. That kind of inward looking, I don't want to fucking look at the news for the next 10,000 years. And so looking at those photos must be quite interesting for you, bringing up all kinds of cool memories, as you said.
Well, it is. The weird thing is there's a lot of stuff with my mum and my dad and family members, most of which I know who they are. And there's some that I'm like, okay, I've got to find out who these people are. But the thing that I want to talk to you, I know how much you hate AI. But I gotta tell you, I found this picture of Mum, and she's in a location that I've never seen from that angle. So I couldn't identify where it was. There were two photographs.
Right.
So I scanned it, I put it up on the screen, I got my phone, went into Google on my phone and typed in, "Where is this?"
Right.
And then tapped on the camera and I put it up against the screen. And it cropped the image to part of the picture that didn't have my mum in it, and it matched it.
Well, that's amazing.
I know, because now I can find these photos and go, okay, that was in such and such a place. That was in such and such.
Yeah.
It was brilliant.
Yeah. And AI is great for that. It is awesome for that. I love that AI does all that stuff. But what artists don't like about AI is the taking of the craft of jobs, of turning a craft into a way for the rich to access skills that they don't have. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, and I'm with you on that. So from a technological standpoint, it saved me a ton of research time of trying to figure out where it was and all that kind of stuff. So that was cool.
Yeah.
So what's going on with you on your side of the world?
Right, so I came over here because the film industry is pretty bad. I mean, it's not as it was. There are people working on projects, but I haven't had work in a long time now. Longest time that I've ever had, actually, since I started 39 years ago. My God.
Wow, you're old.
Yes. Labyrinth being my first film, as you know.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Anyway, but the thing is, I took that opportunity to come back and look after my mum for a bit, because my mum, bless her, she's still young, 80 odd years young, but she needs that help a bit, and Dad passing away recently. And the winter, it's very dark. If I look out the window now, it's pitch black. 4 o'clock in the evening. Well, it's not 4 o'clock in the evening, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but it's literally, you look out and the shutter's down, mate.
Yeah.
Pitch black.
Yeah.
Yes. And it just makes the day so short.
It's the same here now that the clocks have gone back.
Right. But it's just here, it's blacker than black. It's black hole black. And anyway... So it's kind of a bit of a depressing time for Mum. So I thought, you know what? The flights are cheap. I'm going to go back. And she has a little bit of a surgery coming up this week. So I thought, okay, I can pull my weight, because my lovely sister Michelle, my lovely sister Karen, they're usually doing it and helping Mum. And And it's a real issue, I think, we're in. I mean, you helped your mum for 3 years and you were doing everything.
On and off.
Yeah.
Well, it was a group effort.
No, but you misunderstand me, my foreign friend. Of course, Guy and Brigitte and everybody was doing their bit. When I say doing everything, you were doing things that I don't think I could face doing, washing and so on and so forth.
Oh, you mean that? Yeah, well,
Yeah, that's what I mean. But so, we're all faced with that, I think. Somebody said it to me that we're sandwiched between looking after our kids, if you have kids, growing older ourselves, and then looking after our aging folks.
Yeah.
Of course, with the climate at the moment about healthcare and Medicare and all that stuff, it really becomes apparent. So that's why I'm here in Blighty doing my bit.
For your wonderful mum. Yeah.
In our life, we have mothers.
Right.
I have my mum, your mum, my wife's mother, and they're just such a force in families' lives, And
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
well, there's a lot of wisdom coming from our elders in that part,
Yes, can I just say my mum, sorry, I'm cutting in. It's the time gap, it's a delay. It's nothing to do with me being a fucking egotistical, narcissistic bastard.
Really?
Yeah, I've got a quote here from my mum because I was just saying I've got to do the podcast and everything. And I was listening to our last one, which is absolutely fabulous. And she goes, "Oh, don't you guys ever stop talking?" I was like, "Mum, if we didn't talk, we wouldn't have a podcast here."
Oh, that's great. That's wonderful.
So there.
Lovely. Give her a big hug from me and Moni.
I will.
But so I wanted to talk to you a couple of things. I watched a couple of movies last night.
Oh.
And one of them you storyboarded.
Well, hold on. It's time for...
Dong, 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 dong,
Right. Before you talk about the movie that I storyboarded, we have to eat when we talk film. Our listeners all over the world will be disappointed.
Well,
So what have you brought to the table?
I have brought a cup of coffee from Costco.
That's it?
Yeah.
No pastry?
No pastry. It's all on you today.
Oh, okay.
So what are you having?
Okay, well, I went to the Tesco's, which is a supermarket, which I would say is kind of like Tesco's. What's it like in America?
Well, it'd be like Ralph's or Vons or something like that.
Yeah, a bit better than around. But anyway, yes, and I brought Cadbury's mini rolls because I think this is something from your childhood. Here they are, showing you on the screen.
Lovely. Yes, Cadbury mini rolls.
Right.
Family size 10-pack. You're not bringing them home with you by chance, are you?
No room in the luggage. Plenty of room in my belly.
Yes.
And that's the thing about the darkness. I find myself ingesting large quantities of pastries and breads and sugars, and it's like, oh, fuck. So this Cadbury's mini roll. Now, I don't know if you get these in the US. I've never had one in the US. I'll tell you what, it's shrinkflation. That's the size of my thumb, mate.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
They used to be massive.
Well, they did. That's what my wife said about me. But it's like a chocolate sponge with a white creamy centre.
Ooh, Mrs.
So I'm going to dunk this in my tea I made, and you're going to tell me about that.
Well, you see, I wouldn't have dunked that.
Oh, it's rich.
Right.
It's very rich. So you've got this chocolate roll. It's covered in Cadbury's milk chocolate.
Yeah.
And so when you bite through it, the milk chocolate sort of cracks like an icy surface.
Yeah.
You bite through the chocolate sponge, you get hit by a blast of malted chocolate, and then you get through to the creamy fondant centre, and that just washes round your tongue. And I'll tell you what, now I could eat all of these 10 family packs.
Yeah.
It's only £2, James. £2! What's that in dollars?
Well, you see, the equivalent of that would have been a hostess cake ding dong or something like that.
Okay.
And I think they do an equivalent. But yeah, as I said, I was very ill prepared for this because I didn't go out yesterday. But what's in it?
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
This is the BBC News. Ingredients: milk chocolate 34%, sugar, cocoa mass, cocoa butter, dried skimmed milk, milk fat, vegetable fat, palm, dried whey from milk, emulsifier, soya lecithin, vanilla flavour, filling 28%, vegetable oils, palm, rapeseed, glucose syrup, dextrose, sugar, water, emulsifier, E471 flavouring, sugar, wheat flour with added calcium, iron, niacin, thiamine, water. Home Who?
What?
Dried glycerol, dried whole egg, fat reduced cocoa, vegetable oils, rapeseed, dried whey from milk, soya, raising agents, E450, sodium bicarbonate, dried egg, white emulsifier,
Okay, all right, yeah.
salt. May contain nuts.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Now, I'm curious to find out what the American equivalent has in those hostess cakes.
Yeah.
It's probably E1559 chemical compound, blah, blah, blah.
Well.
But anyway, well, thank you for that.
Yes.
So, saw a couple of movies last night. One of them was Bad Boys Ride or Die.
Oh, yes, I did work on that marvellous film.
Yes, you did. And you'll be pleased to know you did get a screen credit. Did you know that?
Now, this I am aware of already, as I do keep an eye out.
Oh, well, bugger you then.
Oh, that's nasty. Now, I had a mate, I think it was Heiko von Dragenberg, our lovely storyboard artist fellow chum who's been on the show with his German sausage, and he sent me a photo of the credit very nicely, and my name and some of the other guys who, off the top of my head, I'm like, oh, fuck, I can't remember. But I was in very good company, let's put it that way.
Yeah, I did take a screenshot myself.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And?
Well, I gotta say, look, it's a Bad Boys movie. It's fun, it's action, it's very entertaining. And even with the Will Smith slap, they kind of put a damper on everything since that Oscar ceremony.
Yes.
They're so good together. They make a really good pairing. But I gotta say, it was a really entertaining movie. And I was sitting there at first just going, okay, let's see what this is like. And I had my arms crossed sort of thing. I was laughing at stuff. I was laughing at their reactions to things. You boarded the scene in the helicopter, right? As well as some other stuff.
Honestly, my favourite scene to board was the scene where Martin Lawrence sort of has a heart attack.
Yeah.
And he kind of falls through the floor into the afterlife, as it were.
Yes. Oh, you did that?
Yeah.
Oh, that was excellent.
Yeah, I really enjoyed boarding that because it's one of those things with the directors who's, unfortunately, I'm not going to attempt to say their names because it's going to insult them, but they were very nice guys.
Yes.
And their DOP, director of photography, was excellent as well. So they were really great gents. And they kind of explained it, you know, kind of loosely, and I went away and had to deliver the boards for it. But it was really good fun. And then the DOP actually was very firm in deciding the angles and everything. But I really enjoyed that. I did a helicopter scene. I did the helicopter flying over Miami scene.
Yep.
I did the thing where they go into the crocodile area and the guy fires a shotgun at them. And I did the scene where they're in the van and it's being set on fire and they're being shot at by the gangbang. So I actually ended up doing quite a lot of it. The other guys as well, I'm sure. Federico De Losandro was one of the board guys who unfortunately didn't get a credit, and Federico is incredible, superb artist. I never will touch his genius. But anyway, he did the scene when they go into a bar and they all get shot up and stuff like that. He did some fantastic boards for that. But yeah, the helicopter scene, I really enjoyed it. And actually, funny enough, when we were doing that, at first it was going to be the interior of a C-17, which is a transport plane the military uses, and a huge thing. You can actually put a Chinook inside of it.
Right.
And so we were doing that, we boarded it, and then they were like, oh, you know what, the producers say, we've seen it before, let's make it a Chinook. So we had fun working out how do we have this thing spinning and so on and so forth. In the end, in the movie, they decided not to shoot the rotor out and have it not spinning, but just having it on autopilot going towards the swampland. But interestingly enough, when you do these boards, you research things, and I found out, of course, if you shoot the rotor off of a Chinook, and each rotor has about 20 tons of pressure.
Wow.
Not weight, but actual pressure as it rotates. We actually spoke to a Chinook pilot who understood all that stuff, obviously. And he was like, yeah, if you shoot that rotor, it would immediately just spin round and it would just be seconds. You wouldn't even, it'd just be ridiculous.
It was a great scene. There was one sequence, I know it was kind of like a selling point for the movie, but it was like a POV first shooter gaming thing.
Oh, yes. Yes, I didn't do that.
No, it was really well done, don't get me wrong. But the problem that I had with that was it was set up that the Martin Lawrence son-in-law character was the gamer. He was the Marine or whatever it was, but he was the gamer. So you see him on the video game screen shooting and doing all that first-person shoot. So when you get to the part of the movie where it's Will Smith's point of view and it keeps switching backwards and forward, very cool, nicely done. But it was like, well, he wasn't the gamer.
Right.
So it didn't make make sense to me that that would happen in that moment. But overall, I really enjoyed it. And I realized that there's a third movie that I have not seen, which was Bad Boys Till You Die, or Till We Die, or whatever it was.
Right.
Anyway, I can't remember. But yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's good.
The other movie that I saw was Scoop.
Scoop.
Yeah, which came out this year. Scoop stars Gillian Anderson.
Oh, you fancy her, don't you?
Well, yeah. Keely Hawes and Billy Piper. And it's about the BBC Newsnight interview they did with Prince Andrew.
Oh.
And that was really entertaining. That was the Prince Andrew relationship with Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
And how he went on to try to exonerate himself. And, you know, and it just completely was a backlash on him after all that. It was really good. I have to say, I really enjoyed that. I recommend it.
I do find that incredibly distasteful, that whole business. And he, of course, has just turned to shit, hasn't he, and rolled up and drifted away.
Well, yeah, I mean, he was forced out.
Yeah. Well, what could they do? I mean, it was like, do we want the paedophile or somebody who rapes young ladies to be in the royal family? Not really. It was all a bit unpleasant, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's a bit of an unpleasant one. I think I prefer your first choice of films, James.
Well, let me just finish up by saying that I watched a wonderful documentary on Disney Plus called Music by John Williams.
Oh, that must be good.
2-hour documentary with interviews from all the filmmakers that he's worked with, Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, and everybody else.
Yeah.
Freaking amazing man. I mean, his life's work from the very beginning when he was just a jazz musician, you know.
Wow, didn't know that. Wow.
And then, fun fact, when they left New York to come to LA, he went to North Hollywood High School.
Really?
Which was the same school that Monty went to.
Wow. Yeah.
But yeah, amazing.
Public education, folks. Public education, folks.
There it is.
In American history, you've got the creator of Peanuts. You've got the blonde-haired geezer what does art. The soup can. You've got... And now you've got this wonderful composer, what's his name?
You said it was me that was going to forget his name. John Williams.
Yeah, I know. John Williams. It's the air pressure. It's different here. John Williams. I actually saw him at concert in Boston, actually.
At the Boston Pops.
Yeah, he did The Duel of the Fates from Star Wars.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he conducts over there at the Boston Pops Orchestra as well.
Yeah.
It was very tenuous for the first season, I think. They didn't like him because he wanted to bring all the film scores into part of their repertoire and they didn't like it.
Right.
But then he left and they were like, oh, we're sorry, you're right. Come back. And he's had a really good relationship with them since.
Yeah, we had a lovely time there. My friend Steve Feinberg, as film commissioner of Rhode Island, he got us hooked up with some tickets for that.
Nice.
And that was an amazing experience. And even the Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah.
Do you remember we all went to see Star Wars?
Yes.
Now, he wasn't conducting, but they had his music.
But I've seen him conduct at the Hollywood Bowl.
Oh, nice.
I've seen him twice now, and it's just wonderful to see this man conduct the pieces of music that he wrote with a live orchestra. I mean, it's just fantastic. Really, really good. So I highly recommend that.
Yes, I'll watch that. Does he admit to stealing the theme from Jaws a bit with Doctor Who? Dun dun. Dun, dun.
No, it wasn't the Doctor Who. No, but they did have his influences from Holster Planets for Star Wars and all that.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Gustav Holster Planet. You can hear the Mars Suite. That's the one.
Well, that was one of 3.
Of course, it's fine.
But it wasn't that he stole it. He was influenced by it. There's a difference.
No, of course not. I'm joking.
No.
Come back to Britain. Where's your sense of humour, mate?
No, listen.
I've had to have words with Sally about this. I have to explain everything to you. I'm joking.
I am really, really thick.
Yes.
Because I have watched... Shut up. I have watched E.T. a million times and I love it. And the music is fantastic and it's one of his best scores.
Yeah.
But I didn't put it together that when they're out on Halloween and you see Yoda walking towards you from E.T.'s point of view, the actual music that's under that is Yoda's theme.
Oh, wow. Even I never knew that.
No, and I'm just like, that's a brilliant touch.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to see it every time I see the movie. But
Yeah.
the other little takeaway from that whole thing, apart from everybody must see it, is the very famous piece of music by Henry Mancini, which is the Peter Gunn theme tune.
Oh. Wow, wow. Oh.
That was him on the piano.
Oh, wow.
So I'm just like, yeah, that's part of his jazz upbringing. I'm just like, okay.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Brilliant.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, you understand all this because you come from a musical family. Our family's all deaf. But the thing is,
Your dad was very good on the keyboard.
no, he was, yes. And people's mouths. Anyway, another good documentary I've been watching, which you recommended, which was the Alien one on Prime.
Yeah.
You know, when you see a documentary and you see something about a film that you've seen hundreds of times and you love and you worship and all that, and you're like, oh,
Yes.
And that was where they're talking about Cain
Yes.
and the chest burster.
Yeah.
And Ash in the background goes, Cain's child.
Yeah.
Or the son of Cain.
Right.
And you're just like, and I've never heard that when I've watched the film. I've never heard that.
Right.
And here it is. And it's just like, oh my God, it just makes him so evil
Yeah.
and adds that dimension to his character. So I love those documentaries.
Yeah. And if you watch him too, everybody's reacting in a shocked, horrified way.
Yes.
And he's just in the back, just observing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like he's just looking to see what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's really, to me, that's directing. You know, you've told everybody to do this.
Yeah.
And you're telling this guy on the quiet without them knowing that things were going to burst out.
Well, that's right.
Even though they show up on set and everything's covered in plastic.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, they didn't know how violent it was going to be. And I think nowadays it's like when we concept design, which I've gone on about before, where every fucking thing's designed to the nth degree and it doesn't really leave room for interpretation by another craftsperson. And I think that with directing as well, you go back to those days with Ridley when he was younger and it was just all these levels in his direction. The same as Spielberg.
Yeah.
I was reading on Facebook, some guy was pointing out that in Saving Private Ryan, when you see Ryan with his buddies and they're sitting on a step in a ruined village and it's a perfect mirage of them sitting on the stoop in New York
Oh.
as they would have done.
Wow.
Just little things like that.
Little nuances. Yeah.
Yeah, and talking about little touches, my second dessert that I brought along,
Oh.
this is from Tesco. This is something you can't have in America really properly. It's a scone with raisins in, real clotted cream from Devon, and my mouth's watering, and a little bit of jam on top. Hold on, let's have a look. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's fucking lovely, mate.
Can I just tell you that I'm very jealous right now?
Yeah. And
Oh, here we go.
you get 6 scones. It's £1.90. £1.90. The clotted cream was £2 something, and the jam was free because I took it from Mum's fridge. But talking of films, I went to see 2 movies
Yes.
this week at the actual cinema.
Oh, what'd you see?
Now, where we are, as you know, in Barnet, there's the Barnet Odeon.
I used to work there.
That's right. And it's not called the Odeon now, it's called the Everyman.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful little cinema, 1930s Art Deco style. And they ripped out all the seats and they put couches in with pillows and tables and you can order food there, the Spielberger, drinks and everything. And so we went to see Heretic.
Oh, good.
Yeah, with old, what's his name?
Yes.
From Paddington Bear.
Yes, that one.
He was caught having a you-know-what on Sunset Boulevard.
Yes. Yes, him.
Oh, cry, I can't believe I forgot his name. Anyway, his performance was beautiful. He made that movie.
Yeah.
As far as the movie goes, it's a great start. And you're like, yes, this is intriguing. This is very clever. Oh, look, he makes a little model of the house. This is great. Sculpts a little figurines. But then the whole reason why he makes the model and all the explanation afterwards and the business, which I won't spoil because it's still a fresh film, I found quite disappointing, James.
Oh, really?
But his performance makes it worth it. I enjoyed it, but it could have been something amazing, but it didn't quite get there for me.
Yeah, I want to see that for sure.
Hugh Grant!
Hugh Grant, there you go.
Oh, I just sprayed that on my laptop. Hugh Grant.
Okay, good. So that's a 1.5 thumbs up from you, right?
Yeah, it's not the disaster that Longlegs was.
Right, I haven't seen that.
No, don't bother. It's very short on its legs. The last film we saw yesterday, Gladiator 2.
Yes, so how was?
Right. Well, I did enjoy it. It's a fun film to see. It's entertaining. I was going to say it takes you away from all the shit that's going on in the world, but actually it reflects what's going on in the world
Yeah, right.
rather beautifully, even though the history of it is not quite, we're not there to see a documentary. But the thing is they've got 2 emperors in it who ruled. Well, it turns out they ruled for about 3 months in real life.
Right.
And also it turns out that the general, who is played by Pascal,
Oh, Pedro Pascal, yeah.
Pedro Pascal, the geezer what was in The Last of Us.
Mandalorian.
Yeah, excellent actor, love him. Great character, great face. And he's in it, he plays a general, can't remember the name, but that general is totally made up, didn't exist.
Bigus Dickus.
That's right. Is there something wrong with my name? So he's very good in that. It is a little bit weird seeing a bloke from Training Day in there, I have to say.
Denzel
Washington.
Yeah.
Now, some people are saying his performance is excellent. Well, I respectfully, and I loved him in Training Day and some of his other movies. I do think he has got into a pattern in his acting. And this is no disrespect. I do admire him. But there is a pattern there. He does that grin, that kind of flashing his teeth and everything. You know, it's just like, dude. But the thing is, he's good. You know, he plays a nasty little character and he's very good in it in that way.
Right.
But he doesn't even bother hiding his American accent. So it's a bit strange. But yeah, I did enjoy it. There's some great sequences in it. You know, there's lots of CG in it. It's like my sister Michelle said, oh, the first one, it had that really digital look, especially when you went through the clouds, which I love that opening shot of seeing the Colosseum in the original one.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it did look very CG. There's many shots where you're like, wow, it's just there.
Right. So they've perfected that whole look.
They really have. The stuff with the rhino, it's okay. I mean, it doesn't touch the first one. The first one is a classic. And I do think that Ridley, again, an amazing visualist. But here, you don't get those visuals that... Kingdom of Heaven.
Right.
When you look at those visuals, they're just, oh my God, the shots are stunning. And that's kind of missing. It was missing in Napoleon, and I think it's missing here. But see it.
Okay.
And see it at the cinema.
All right, I will do that. So you're having a good time at home?
Well, look, I do love being back in the homeland. I love America. For all the shit that's going on. You know, I've met some of my best friends there, people with heart, and... I get emotional thinking about it because you hear so much shit about it. And I think, unfortunately, the shit has risen to the top, but there's a great tidal wave of change and want of change underneath it. And I think that's what we have to focus on. And I think if we did maybe transmit less of what they say and pictures of what they're doing, but at the same time, you have to be aware of what's going on and just keep remembering the power and the beauty that exists over there. And, you know, and coming back to Britain, there's Boris Johnson's book. I see it in a fucking bookshop, so I immediately turn it over, of course. Unleashed. Now, an American would read it and go, Johnson Unleashed? Oh my God, is this porn? You know, and it's just like, Boris Johnson. Basically, the dick is unleashed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a book I won't be buying. When I come to Britain, I do tend to buy more books and go into bookshops and into charity shops. And, of course, unfortunately, Dad passed away and he's left loads and loads and loads and loads of books. And it's so overwhelming. And I think a lot of people go through this. You have to get rid of it. Yeah. Not to be disrespectful. You know, some of it might be worth something, but most of it, you buy it for £5 10 years ago and you think, oh, that might be worth something. Well, guess what? It's £7 now. I mean, it's so fickle. Yeah. I go into the charity shops with boxes of books and they're even like, oh, sorry, the hardback books, they're not really selling. Nobody's buying them. And so that's interesting, but I have brought some books to read and coming back, it's book reading weather, it's hot chocolate weather. So in that way, and looking after my mum, at least to be have a few laughs, we watch crap TV together. Now I'm a huge fan of Strictly Come Dancing. Oh, God.
Oh, wow. Hey.
And now, dude, she's even introduced me to Married at First Sight with all these plastic surgery birds and these guys with these fucking bread loaf haircuts. It's like, really? And she knows everything, James, everything. She has a whole dossier. She could be for MI5 for fucking Married at First Sight. One book I got is Oh, Miriam. And I do happen to like Miriam Margolyes.
Miriam Margolyes.
Oh, fucking pedanting. All those thousands of miles away, he's still pedanting me, yes.
Guy knows her very well.
Oh, does he?
Yes, he does.
Well, she talks about her flaps a lot, doesn't she? Bless her. I think she's hilarious. She says some incredible stuff, and I loved her in Harry Potter as Professor Sprout. Yeah. And, of course, she was in Shakespeare. She played so on and so forth in Shakespeare.
Was that a character?
Something. But she's great, so I'm reading her at the moment. Oh, Miriam, it's called, and she's very amusing, but she has no problem talking about her nether regions, and she's great. Very good books, and that's what I'm doing here, mate. And I'm just hoping that you're all right over there. You don't get too down in the dumps.
No, I don't have time to get down in the dumps between the cat editing podcasts and scanning these photographs, which I desperately want to get done before you get back. Because I've had them for 6 years and I haven't done fuck all with them, so I've got to get them done now. Now is my chance. While you're away, not going over my shoulder going, come on, let's do this, let's do that, I can get on with it.
Oh, well, that's why there won't be any videos then.
Well, no, you're doing all the videos on your side, which is good because it's important that you show people over here the differences.
Yes. Well, apparently lots of people over there want to come over here due to the thing that just happened.
The recent events.
The recent thing. And so house prices apparently looking to go up. And also I took my mum to the docks and did not have to present a credit card. Interestingly enough, when you go to the dentist, it is on the national health, but most of them...
You still have to give a credit card.
Well, no, a lot of them actually don't take national health, believe it or not. It's a bit like Delta in California. They're like, oh, it's so shite, you know. So in that case, I had a thing with my cheek, my top cheek, not my bottom cheek, naughty. And it swelled up and it was kind of tingly. It felt really weird. And I was like, oh no. And it was really tender to touch. And I was like, oh no, is that an abscess? That's all I need. I came here to look after my mum and she's going to be making me fucking soup. Anyway, so mum very kindly phoned her dentist and they saw me the day she rang in the afternoon. I went in there. I've never met this person before. She was absolutely fantastic, a very young Indian girl. And she did a full look in the mouth and did an x-ray. And, you know, it must have been about 40 minutes. And the total bill was £55, including an extra call-out fee.
Wow.
Because normally it'd be £45. So £55 plus £10 for the x-rays.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was just like, why? What is this insurance we have in America? What the fuck?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You know, that apparently is going to possibly change with the new administration.
Oh, what? How's it going to change?
Well, I don't really want to get into it on the podcast
All right.
because we don't do politics.
No, the great impact almost shifted us into the political realm. But after talking about it with her indoors, she who must be obeyed, I was quickly trying to think of a Chinese word for not hum sup po, which means
You've got bad breath.
no, that means perverted man.
Oh, Humsup Po. Oh, that's right, yes.
Oh, yeah. Lo po dayan means she who must be obeyed, the wife. But she was saying, look, people, enough. We need a little bit of laughter. So hopefully that's what we've done this year. A little bit of laughter. I think we've gained a few more listeners.
Yep.
And that's the goal. Our pockets are still, well, we could do with a few shekels. Merry Christmas. Nice talking with you.
And you, mate. And we'll talk again when you get back. Maybe we'll pinch off one more.
Oh, my God. A loaf?
Pinch off one more podcast when you get back before the end of the year.
Okay. Yeah, we will. Yeah. Here's to being individual. Here's to, instead of looking at the top and thinking, oh my God, look at what you've got there, just look at yourself and be the best thing that you can be.
Absolutely.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think so. I think your sentiment is right.
Be Miriam Margoyles.
Margulies.
Is that how you say it?
Margulies.
Margolyes.
Margulies.
Margolyes.
Yeah.
And Guy knows her.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. Guy knows a lot of people.
Like, well.
I don't know if he knows her well.
I know, but he keeps it to himself, doesn't he? He keeps it to himself. He doesn't fucking share.
You should, you should have a call with him. He's at home now. Call him. Should meet up with him while you're here.
Yeah, but that means actually confronting him. And that's a no-no as an Englishman.
Why would you do that?
No. No. I confront him via you.
No.
That's your job.
No, see, I hate being the middleman. You got something to say to my brother? Don't pass it through me. Talk to them directly.
No, you see, I've been here 2 weeks. I've lost my American thrust, as it were.
No. You see, even when we went to the screening that you invited me to with Heiko and April, you were still embarrassed to speak up and say, this is my mate, and introduce him. That was your Britishness coming through.
You might have put them off. See you, James.
I will see you later. Have fun.
Bye.
Before we go, we bring you our
Fact check! Fact check! Fact check!
Fact check segment.
Here with the benefit of hindsight,
And editing.
we can own up to our mistakes.
It's you, isn't it? It's you.
It's me.
It's you.
Mate, he's your friend and you still can't pronounce his name right. It's Heiko von Drengenberg.
Ah, yes, well, the jet lag lasts and it's multidimensional, so it affects speech and memory patterns. And also, I don't speak German. Sorry, Heiko. James,
Yes, mate.
the third Bad Boys movie in the franchise that disappeared from your addled brains is Bad Boys for Life.
That's it.
The one I was very proud to have worked on was Bad Boys Ride or Die.
Yes, and the directors that you couldn't remember the name of were Adil El Arbi and Bilal Falah, if I've said that right.
Yes, well, that's why I'm glad you read it out. They're credited as Adil and Bilal.
Very good.
And very nice chaps they are.
Awesome.
Also, I correct myself here about my fellow story artists. Federico de Alessandro was credited as Andrew Garcia Price and Giles Ashbury, whose father happened to be Martin Ashbury, who not only drew the character Garth in the Daily Mail, but also as a storyboard artist on many of the Bonds going back many years. Very talented.
Excellent. And finally, I have two pedantings for you.
Oh,
The bloke that invented peanuts, and I really thought you were talking about the fruit and not the actual cartoon, was Charles M. Schultz. And the blonde geezer, what does art, is Andy Warhol.
okay, that's good. But what do you mean fruit? Peanuts aren't fruits, are they?
Well, they are actually.
No, they're seeds.
No, they're fruits.
They're nuts.
I'll see you next time.
All right.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
That's what it says here.